Hello friends, welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the Prelims test series discussion. This is test 5 of Prelims and this is part 1 where we will discuss the first set of questions. So the document that I'm using for the discussion is the Prelims test series summary document. Vision, as you all know, Vision will conduct this Prelims test series. उसका solutions का summary document. So in this summary document, we have reduced the content. So reduction of content means we have just removed the non-important content so that the number of pages get reduced and you will be able to revise all the important content multiple times. That is the main objective. Now without wasting any time, let's start with the first question. The first question is with regarding to the rise of social classes, and here Brahmins, if you see, they first appeared in the Tamil land of the Sangam. So Sangam is something which is important even for the exam for us. An ideal king, he never heard Brahmins, so they are the ones who used to perform all the rituals and all. They even functioned as poets. So besides schools, the poets or bards, they got cash, land, chariots, horses and even elephants. So some of the Brahmins, they used to get lands, so they are called agraharas and all. And also, next if you see, the captains of the army, they were called Inadi at a formal ceremony. Inadi means captains of the army, civil and military officers under both Cholas and Pandyas by Vilas or rich peasants. And the ruling class was Arasar, and members had marriage relations with Velas, who formed the fourth caste. Agri operations, if you see, so they had the task of lowest class, differed little from that of the slaves. The Pariyars were agricultural laborers who worked with animal skins and used as mats. So this is the first question. Second question is about the Pahari region. So the Pahari region in general, if you see, the North Indian region, somewhere in Kashmir, the Himachal Pradesh, the adjoining regions of Punjab, Uttar Pradesh. So that is called as the Pahari region. They are ruled by the Rajputs back then. And Basoli, if you see, it is the earliest center of painting in the Pahari region, and this Basoli has received patronage from Raja Kripal Pal. So the Devidasa executed miniatures in the form of the Rasamanjari illustrations in 1694 AD. Next, illustrations from series of Gita Govinda. They were painted by an artist Manaku in 1730 AD. It shows the development of this Basholi style. So Basholi style you can find in the North Indian Pahari region. Remember this well. Next, Kangra. Kangra is, if you see, it is Gular style followed by Kanga, representing the third phase of Pahari painting in the last quarter of 18th century. So Kangra also belonged to this Pahari. So the delicacy of drawing and quality of naturalism, that is there in this, identical in style to portraits of Raja Sansar Chand of Kangra. Faces of women in profile have nose almost in line with the forehead. The eyes are long and narrow and chin is sharp. There is no modeling of figures and hair is treated as flat mass. They flourished in Kangra, Guler, Basholi, the Chamba, Jammu, Nurpur, Garhwal, etc. The paintings are attributed to the Nayansuk family. So this is about the Pahari region and the various paintings of that. The Basholi, the Kangra. Okay, they are the various styles in this Pahari region. Next, the third question, if you see, it is on the important empires. The Mauryan Empire is one of the most important empire in the ancient India. The Mauryan Empire covered vast areas of Indian subcontinent from the present day, the northwest frontier province, that means near to this Afghanistan-Pakistan border, from there to Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Uttaranchal in India. Ashokan inscriptions mentioned 5 major political centers of this Mauryan Empire. The capital is Patliputra, and the provincial centers are Takshila, Ujjaini, Tosali and Suvarnagiri. They were the 4 major provinces. Okay. The administrative control of the empire was strongest in the area around the capital and the provincial centers. And the provincial centers were chosen. Both Takshila and Ujjaini were situated on the important long distance trade routes, while the Suvarnagiri, literally means golden mountain, was important for tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. So this is about the Ashokanam and the Mauryan Empire, their provinces. And next is the Manyakhet in Karnataka. So it is the capital of this Rashtrakuta Empire. This Rashtrakuta Empire rose in the 8th century AD. The Rashtrakutas dominated the Deccan for about 200 years, and till 10th century they were ruling here. It was not only the most powerful polity of that time, but the Rashtrakutas also acted as bridge between the north and the south. They were the bridge. They promoted and expanded North Indian traditions and policies in the South India as well. So they acted as that kind of bridge where there is exchange of cultures and other culture, education, religion, economy, etc. And also India touched new heights and stability under this empire. The Rashtrakutas was founded by Manaka in Malkhed. Some of the famous rulers are Danti Durga, you have Krishna Raja, and you have also Govinda. All these are famous rulers. Govinda 1, Govinda 3 and so on. Right. Even Krishna 2 is very famous. Now let's move on to the next question. So next question is on the panchayats. The panchayat, if you see, they were introduced by the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. You have the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts which have introduced the Panchayati Raj system and the municipality. So they were introduced, and the Panchayati Raj institutions by 73rd and municipalities by the 74th. That means the local bodies were introduced, right? And the government of India plus the states decided to celebrate 24th of April as the National Panchayati Raj Day since 2010, because on 24th of April 1993 these 73rd and 74th Amendment Acts were passed. In 1959 it was Rajasthan which became the first state to implement the local bodies, right? It was inaugurated by Pandit Nehru back then. So this is about the panchayat. Next, the fifth question is again on the Mauryan Empire. The Mauryan Empire is very important for us from the examination point of view. Right, so Mauryan Empire, if you see, it was founded by Chandragupta Maurya in 321 BCE, overthrowing the Nanda dynasty. It established control over the northwest region of the subcontinent India and the Gangetic plains, western India and Deccan also. The Junagadh inscription of Rudradaman in 150 CE. These records show the beginning of the construction of Sudarshana Lake by during the reign of Chandragupta, and it completed during the reign of Ashoka. And Mauryan Empire declined after Ashoka. Broadly, you can say it ended with the king Brihadrata. He was being killed by his own military commander Pushyamitra. Then after this death, the Shunga dynasty was established. The Pushyamitra Shunga by the Pushyamitra Shunga. Okay, this is about the Mauryan Empire. Next, Standing Buddha is the sixth question. Standing Buddha, if you see, so the excellence of the Gupta art is in its maturity, that we can see from the Sarnath, where you can find the Standing Buddha, the softly molded figure, the right-handed assuring protection. Only fringes of the diaphanous robe is indicated here. So if you see, in the Gupta period especially, the key elements of Indian temples, the plastic forms and others emerged. The stone carvings from the temple of Diyogar, the Udaygiri and Ajanta caves, where excellent specimens of the figure sculptures were there. The large panel of Sheshashi Vishnu from Diyogar temple, right? The Ganga and Yamuna, the two lifeless terracotta images installed in this niches flanking the main steps leading to upper terrace of Shiva temple in the Ahichrata also belong to this Gupta period. And when we talk about the Buddha images, you have Gandhara school of art, which came into prominence during the reign of the Kushans. And this Gandhara school of art is a Greco-Roman style of art. You also have the Amravati school of art and all. And along with along with this Amravati, another famous school is the Mathura school of art. These two, Gandhara and Mathura school of art, they are very famous. They are very famous, especially when we talk about this Buddhist sculptures. Right. Next, the seventh question is on Mohiniyattam. Mohiniyattam is a classical dance form of Kerala. Mohiniyattam. It traces its origin to the temple of Kerala. So this dance used to be performed in the temples of Kerala. So here you can see the graceful swaying of body. There were a lot of movements, no abrupt jerks or leaps. It belongs to the Lasya style, the feminine, tender and graceful style. It emphasized by the glides and up and down movements on toes, like the waves of sea and swaying of coconuts, palm trees and paddy fields. Foot is not terse and rendered softly. The emphasis is on the hand gestures and Mukhambinaya with subtle face expressions. We saw the movements borrowed from Nangiyar, Kutu and female folk dances of Kaikotikal and Tiruvatikarlai. The emphasis was on the acting and composition CPC, and there are also hand gestures which are 24 in number. So this is important for us. There are even some facial expressions as well, which are close to the natural style, natural and realistic style. So this is about Mohiniyattam. Remember, Mohiniyattam is a classical dance form of Kerala. Next, 8th question is on the heat wave. So heat waves, if you see in general, it is a condition where the heat or where the temperature of a particular area is above the normal. Now what is normal? What is this above temperature? We will see that. So heat wave is the condition of air temperature which becomes fatal to human body when exposed. So the increase in temperature which becomes harmful for humans. The heat wave is considered if maximum temperature of the hill station reaches at least 40 degrees, and for the plains it reaches 30 degrees or more for hilly regions. There is a small mistake here. Generally it is 30 degrees for hilly regions and 40 degrees for plains. Okay, just make a note of this. We will correct this in the document. Okay. And conditions for heat wave, if you see, the transportation of hot and dry air over a region will lead to increase in temperature. The absolute moisture in the upper atmosphere, it also reduces, and the sky generally should be cloudless. The large amplitude of anticyclonic flow over an area should be there for these heat waves. These heat waves develop over the northwest India and spread eastwards and southwards but not westwards, since the prevailing winds during the season are westerly to northwesterly. So that means the winds move from west to east. So we can see this heat wave traveling from west to east and not from east to west. IMD uses 4 color codes for this. Remember, these kind of color codes, they are very important because we are seeing UPSC asking questions. This year, even in mains in 2022, we have seen how UPSC has asked the color coding with regarding cyclones and all. Okay, so IMD generally uses 4 color codes: green, no action; yellow, watch and stay updated; orange, be prepared; red is action. So these are the color codes. Next, the 9th question. 9th question is on the art forms. The early Jain Tirthankara images and portraits of kings, they were found at Mathura. The images of Vaishnava, Vishnu and his various forms, and Shiva, the Lingas and Muklingas faiths are found at Mathura, but Buddhist images are found in large numbers. So as I told already, the Gandhara school of art is very famous. It's a Indo-Greek school of art which had influences from the Mathura and Sarnath schools as well. The Mathura school especially produced very good quality Buddha images. It is famous for the headless erect statue of Kanishk, and the name is inscribed on its lower part. So when Indian craftsmen, they came into contact with the Greeks and the Romans, they formed this, or they created this Gandhara school of art, you can say. That is how it has come into the picture. Next, the 10th question is on Badamis. So Badami, if you see, it is the capital of early Chalukyan dynasty, and they ruled from 543 to 598 CE. Chalukya king Mangalesha patronized the excavations of Badami caves. Younger son of the Chalukya, Pulakesin I and his brother Kirtivarman I. Okay, so the Badami caves, if you see, they are located in today's Karnataka region, in Karnataka. So this you have to remember. And second thing is, they are famous for both Hindu and Jains. So the temple have carvings of Hindu, that is the images of Vishnu and all, and as well as carvings of Jain as well. And remember, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site candidate as well. But still, it did not get the status actually. Okay, right. And the paintings, if you see, they talk about Kirtivarman, Pulakesin, and elder brother. So all these people's paintings, they can be seen in these palace scenes which are there over there in the palace paintings. Okay, right. Next, the 11th question is on the elements of temple. So in temple architecture, we have two major styles, the Nagara style and the Dravida style. These two are the major styles, and also along with that, you also have these other styles of temple architecture like the Vesara style and all, but these two are the main styles. So the shape of the main temple, if you see, there is Vimana, Okay, especially the Dravida style, you will see temples which are huge and they have lot of different characteristics compared to that of the North India Nagara style. So in the Dravida style of temples, you generally have the Vimana, Shikara and all. Vimana in Tamil Nadu is like the stepped pyramid. So generally if you see, just a second, I'll draw the image for your clarity. Yeah. So in general when you see, let's see if this is the temple, right, if this is the temple. So this is called the Vimana. This entire thing is called Vimana, and here you will have the Shikara. This is Shikara, this is Vimana. So Vimana is like a stepped pyramid. In South Indian temples, Shikara is used for crowning elements on top of the temple, which is shaped like small stupa or octagonal cupola. So here is the Shikara. Okay. So this is equivalent to the Amalak and Kalash of the North Indian temples. And North Indian temples, if you see, they are the Nagara style of they have this Nagara style of architecture, and these temples have the Garbhagriha, and this Garbhagriha, which is Sanctum Sanctorum, is common for both the North Indian temples and South Indian temples. So the entrance of the North Indian temple is temple's Garbhagriha. It would be usual to find images like the Mithras and river goddess like Ganga and Yamuna, whereas in South you will find the sculptures of the fierce Dwarpalakas or the doorkeepers who are guarding the temple. And also in the South Indian temples you will find these water reservoirs or a temple tank which is enclosed within the temple complex itself. They also have the huge mantapas, especially these South Indian temples. Okay, so generally this is the mantapa. Okay, and here you have the Sanctum Sanctorium, that is Garbhagriha. And at some of the most sacred temples in South India, the main temple in which the Garbhagriha is situated has one of the smallest towers. It is the oldest part of the temple. So around the temple you will have huge towers, but the Garbhagriha will be present below this smallest tower. That also you can see. Next, the 12th question is on the dramas, the ancient dramas. Natya Shastra, if you see, this is written by Bharata Muni. So the Bharatanatyam emerged from here. Next, Mritchakatika. Mritchakatika is a clay card written by Shudraka. Shudraka has written this Mritchakatika. It's a remarkable social drama. So this is a social drama where this play has characters from all the status of the society, because it is talking about the social aspects. It has thieves, gamblers, rogues, idlers, courtsmen, etc. Next is Bhavabhuti. So Bhavabhuti is known for Uttar Ramacharitam, played in the last act of love of exquisite tenderness. Next is Jayadeva. So Jayadeva is a famous poet in Sanskrit. So he is famous for his Sanskrit poetry, and he belongs to the 12th century AD. So his famous work is Gita Govinda. So Gita Govinda, where he has written songs on Govinda to describe the phase of love between Radha and Krishna. So that is the beauty of his writings. Next, the 13th question is on Dr. BR Ambedkar. Dr. BR Ambedkar is very important for us from the examination point of view. If you see the question paper, every once in a while questions come on Ambedkar, Gandhi, Tilak, and all these famous people. Questions will usually come. So the organization set up by Ambedkar is important for us. Ambedkar, if you see, he has set up various organizations like the Bahishkrit Hitkarni Sabha, the Independent Labour Party, the All India Scheduled Caste Federation. They are set up by Ambedkar. He propagated his views from newspapers like Muknayak and Bahishkrit Bharat, the Janata. These three are his newspapers, remember. So the Bahishkrit Bharat, the Muknayak and Janata. He also participated in all the three roundtable conferences. In all the three he participated, and Gandhiji participated only in the second roundtable conference. Right. And he is also the chairman of drafting committee, Ambedkar. He is the first law minister of India. You can say he was the law minister up to 1951. In fact, in 1956 he adopted Buddhism, and he wrote various social he wrote on various social and political matters: the annihilation of caste, who were Shudras, untouchables, and Buddha and his Dharma. All were his important writings. Okay. Next question is on Babur. So Babur, if you see his famous memoirs, the Tazuki Baburi, is written in Turkey. Other works, if you see, the Masnavi and Turkish translation of Sufi work was there. Jahangir also wrote autobiography, the Tazuki Jahangiri in Persian. This is an important work. Babur, if you see, he is an Orthodox Sunni Babur is orthodox Sunni, not bigoted or led by the religious divineness, where there was sectarian feuds between the Shias and Sunnis in Iran and Turan. Gunpowder came into India along with Babur. Actually, the gunpowder, it is said in few books that gunpowder is already present in India, but according to NCERT, it was through Babur that gunpowder came to India. It was used for the first time in the attacks on the fortress of Bhira, which is the gateway to Hindustan in 1520-21. And this battle of Kanwa is again very famous one between Rana Sanga and Babur. So this is after the battle of Panipat, and in this battle Rana Sanga was defeated. That's why it was very popular. Okay, and why this battle of Kanwa is very important is that it consolidated the rule of this new Mughal dynasty over India. That's why this is very famous and important for us. Right. Next, the 15th question. This is on the Global Security Initiative. So this Global Security Initiative is proposed by China at BAO Forum in China, and this is a warning against the hegemonism, power politics and bloc confrontation. This will look into the counter US Indo-Pacific strategy and Quad, and the basic Quad, where India, US, Australia and Japan, they are part of it. Next, 16th question is on the famous Mahabalipuram temple or Mamalapuram, which is now called as, and this is located in Tamil Nadu. Remember, this is located in Tamil Nadu. So Narasimhavarman I or Mammala, so he acceded the Pallava throne in 640 CE, expanded his empire, avenging defeat of his father, and which was suffered in the hands of Pulakesin II. So this place Mahabalipuram is especially very famous for these temples. It is very famous for these temples. Be it the Shore temple or be it a Pancharathas temple. The Shore temple at Mahabalipuram was built later in the reign of Narasimhavarman II or Rajasimha. It was founded by Narasimhavarman I, but the Shore temple by Narasimhavarman II. So the orientation was towards east, and it actually houses 3 shrines, 2 to Shiva, 1 facing each other, and middle one was to Vishnu, who was shown as Ananta Shayana. Okay, and in compound there is evidence of water tank as well. So this is about this. This is also, the Mahabalipuram is also famous for this Rathas, the Pancharathas, the Mantapas, the descent of the Ganges. It is famous for all these things. This descent of Ganges, especially if you see, it is locally known as Arjuna's penance. Arjuna's penance, and most of the carvings, they are the rock cut carvings on the monolithic rocks, in fact. Right. So the group of monuments at Mahabalipuram, they were designated as the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984 itself. They are part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Right. So next, the 17th question is on the social developments in Gupta period. Guptas, if you see, they came to be looked upon as Kshatriyas by Brahmins, and the Brahmins presented Gupta kings as possessing godlike attributes. The Gupta princes, they became supporter of the Brahmanical order. They promoted Hinduism, as we all know, and also there were numerous land grants which was done during this period, listed in the Narad Smriti, which is the law book of Narada. The caste system was proliferated in this time into various subcastes due to 2 factors: large number of foreign assimilations in the society, and each group of foreigners, they were considered as different caste. And the Huns, who came into India in the 5th century, they recognized as one of the 36 clans of Rajput, and the position of Shudras also improved during this time. They were permitted to listen to recitations of Ramayana, Mahabharata and Puranas. The Shudras also could worship a new god called Krishna and permitted to perform certain domestic rites. In Gupta period, like the Shudras, even women were allowed to listen to Ramayana, Mahabharata and so on. Women of higher order did not have access to independent sources of livelihood in the pre-Gupta period. In fact, the women of 2 lower varnas were free to earn their livelihood, but upper caste women did not have. The Guptas' ruling was the golden age in the Indian subcontinent. The Guptas were considered to be the second glorious epoch in the annals of ancient India. And after Mauryas, the Guptas realized the political unification of North India especially. The Gupta Empire was founded by Sri Gupta. He was the real founder of this empire. After that, we had various great rulers like Chandragupta I and all. So we got a lot of information from Fahin. So based on his works, we could see what the Gupta society was all about. Here people could move freely around, right? And also Fahin called the cities of Mathura and Pataliputra as the cities that were described as the city of flowers especially. The gold and silver coins were also issued during this time, and trade and commerce both flourished. So this is about the Guptas. Next, the paintings. 18th question is on paintings. In India, the earliest paintings were reported from the Upper Paleolithic times. The first discovery of rock painting was in 1867-68 by archaeologist Archibald Carle, 12 years before the discovery of the Altamira in Spain. Paintings in India, right from the Vedic times, early Vedic times, we can see these paintings in various caves in India. So that's why they are very famous. The earliest prehistoric paintings can be found in the Ambedkar caves in Madhya Pradesh. So here the first paintings were discovered at Sohighat in Mirzapur district of Uttar Pradesh in 1867-68. In 1881, Cockburn found fossilized rhinoceros bones in the valley of the Cane River in the Mirzapur region, and the painting of rhinoceros hunted by 3 men in the shelter near the rope village. C.W. Anderson discovered a painting sheltered of Singhpur in the Raigad district of Madhya Pradesh. So we had various kinds of these prehistoric paintings, mural paintings, the miniature paintings and so on, the Pahari style of painting, the Deccani school, folk paintings, etc. And they are important for us even from the examination point of view as well. Next, the 19th question is on Kundehi. Kundehi, if you see, the string puppets of Odisha made of light wood and have no legs but wear long frock skirts. Kundehi is the string puppets of Odisha. Remember this? They have joints and are more versatile, articulate and easy to manipulate. Costumes are similar to actors of Chatra traditional theatre. So Kunderi is related to string puppets. Next question is on the resignation of IAS. So normally if you see, pension is given to the IAS after retirement. But if someone resigns, he will not get pension. Okay. So the guidelines of Department of Personnel controlling cadre of department for IAS say that resignation has to be clear and unconditional. The resignation again is different from the voluntary retirement scheme, VRS. So voluntary retirement means a person taking retirement from the service, right? So an officer serving in the cadre must submit his resignation to the Chief Secretary of the state if he has to resign. An officer on the central deputation is required to submit his or her resignation to the Secretary of Ministry or Department, which then follows or forwards the resignation to the concerned state cadre. So in general, according to the rules, the government may permit officers to withdraw his or her resignation in the public interest. So this does not mean if a person has resigned, he has to go, but option is given to him if you want to stay. Okay. Next, the 21st question is on Bhagavatism. So Bhagavatism, this is actually the Gupta rulers gave patronage to this Bhagavatism. Bhagavatism is to a certain extent is linked to Lord Vishnu. So it is tolerant of other religions as well. The Chinese pilgrim Fa Hien and Huan Sang came to India during the reign of Chandragupta II and Harsha. Huan Sang came during Harsha, Fa Hien during the Chandragupta II. So this is the time during which Buddhism was also flourishing. Harsha is a Shaivite in early life, but later became the follower of Buddhism. He convened assembly at Kanauj to publicize this Mahayana Buddhism. Right. And Bhagavatism, if you see, it focused on worship of Vishnu and his incarnations. It emphasized bhakti and ahimsa rather than the Vedic rituals. The Bhagavad Gita is where there was when there were social evils, when there was social crisis, the Vishnu would appear. That is said in this Bhagavad Gita. There are 10 incarnations of Vishnu. Right. So as we all know this. Next, the 22nd question. This is on the Centralization Powers influence on India. So Central Asia had various influence on India. Right. So if you see, the introduction of the cavalry and use of horses for riding. So it was popularized by the Shakas and Kushans. During that reign, it was popularized. The trade also between there was this lot of trade between Central Asia and India right from ancient times. India received great fund of gold from the Altai mountains of Central Asia. Also, gold might have been received through the Roman Empire. Kushans controlled the Silk Route, starting from China, passing to Central Asia, Iran, Afghanistan, Western Asia. The route was a source of substantial income for the Kushans as well. And also Mahayana Buddhism, if you see, it was popularized. Indian religions underwent a lot of change post the Mauryans due to great leap in trade and this artisanal activity, due to the exchange of cultures, due to exchange of information between the people. Large number of coins were found even in southern areas like the Andhra Pradesh, where we have an important site called this Nagarjun Konda. So this is in Amravati region. Okay. And also political administration, if you see, the Kushans strengthened the satrap system of the government adopted by the Shakas, and the empire was divided into various satrapies. So these are some of the important things for us. Next, the 23rd question is on the Sarnath line capital. The Sarnath line capital, if you see, this is built to commemorate the first sermon or the Dharmachakra Parivartana by Buddha at Sarnath, and the capital was built by Ashoka. Originally, it consisted of 5 parts, 5 components: the shaft, which is broken into many parts now, lotus base bell, a drum on the bell base with 4 animals proceeding clockwise, the figures of 4 majestic adored lions, and the crowning elephant. All of these things are there. So Dharmachakra, which is a large wheel, was also part of this pillar, but this wheel was lying broken condition and is displayed in the site of Sarnath in the museum over there. The capital without crowning wheel, shaft and lotus has become the base, and it is adopted as a national emblem of the independent India. And the phrase Satyamev Jayate in the national emblem was adopted from the Mundaka Upanishad. Remember this as well. Next, the 24th question is on the archaeological findings at the Indus Valley site. In fact, Indus Valley is very important for the exam. Every year question is coming, and the Indus Valley sites, if you see, they have yielded terracotta figurines of women, heavily jeweled, elaborate headdress of the mother goddess. The Pashupati shield from Mohenjo-daro shows the deity sitting in yogic postures, which is evidence of image worship in the Indus Valley site. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro shows tradition of ritual bathing. Evidence of this tree and animal worship was also found in the seals. The tradition of temple worship did not exist in this Indus Valley time. So these are some of the archaeological findings of the Indus Valley civilization. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro, this you have to remember, Pashupati seal, right? Also this you have to remember, and evidence of tree and animal worship which is found in seals. Next, the 25th question is on the International Criminal Court. The ICC or International Criminal Court is governed by the Rome Statute, world's first permanent ICC, headquarters at Hague, Netherlands. The UNSC generally refer the cases to this International Criminal Court. And remember, this International Criminal Court is not an UN body, it is not a UN organization. This is different from ICJ, International Court of Justice, where we even have Indian judges elected and all. India is not part of this ICC, that is the key thing. Because ICC is not a UN body, India did not sign or ratify this Rome Statute. Many countries, US, Russia, China, India, Ukraine, Indonesia, they did not sign this Rome Statute. But Ukraine gave its approval to examine alleged atrocities on its territory because of the Russian annexation of Crimea in 2014. The ICC judgments are binding, final and cannot be appealed. It is different from the ICJ, which is International Court of Justice, and ICC's headquarters at Hague, Netherlands. Okay. So these are the questions for the day. In the next lecture, we will start from question number 26 and continue. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. And before I leave, a small information regarding our initiatives. Do contact us via Telegram, via Telegram or via comments for any more suggestions or even to enroll for the course. That's it, guys, from my side. We'll meet again tomorrow. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.